Get off the track and into the streets. Camden Entertainment and Naira Bats are proud to present At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga. A weekly behind-the-scenes discussion throughout the Saratoga horse racing season. Hosted by nationally recognized racing expert and analyst Andy Serling. Tonight's show is also brought to you in part by Capital OTB and Timeform US. Now, live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga, here's Andy Serling.
Thanks a lot for joining us, and welcome to the fifth night, the fifth week of At the Post Live at the Parting Glass Restaurant. I want to thank everybody for being here, and just a beautiful night in Saratoga, and what's been a very enjoyable meet, and last weekend is behind us. One man, actually the man to my right, was very fortunate. You left town during the awful day here last Saturday, but we're going to make things up this weekend. And I want to thank everybody for coming down. We've got a terrific show tonight. Florent Giroux, my first guest, is here. Steve Asmussen will be joining us in just a few moments as well. And Jimmy Riccio, owner Jimmy Riccio. If you're not familiar with him now, you will be familiar with him very shortly. But Florent, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, nice weekend last weekend at Arlington Park. You won 4 of the 5 stakes. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. The big one, Escape.
What happened to the Arlington Million? How'd you blow it there?
Jesus. I don't know, just one of those,
Who'd you ride?
World Approval.
Oh, so that horse was actually favored. It's sort of funny, right?
Yes, he was the favorite.
It was not your fault. You gave him a good ride. He just wasn't quite good enough. Was it, I mean, Arlington Park has been your home this is your first summer in Saratoga, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you've been in Arlington Park the other summers?
Yes, since I've been here in America.
How long have you been here?
Since 2008.
And did you ride at all in Europe before coming here?
Yes, I did for 3 years.
Really? Where did you ride specifically?
Close to Paris. That's where all the big racetracks are, and it's where the jockey school started being jockey school when I was 13 years old, and rode my first race when I was almost 17, and from there just keep on riding.
So you were in jockey school for 4 years before you began riding?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So I went to Paris and I love Saint-Cloud. Saint-Cloud a great track to ride at?
Yeah, it's a very nice track, left hand, flat track. One of the most flat, you can find over there. And it's right in downtown Paris, and it's a very beautiful track and great surface.
And you pull up around a tree after the race, is that right? You do?
Yes, we do, yeah.
There's a big tree after the finish line, and the horses pull up around. It's actually pretty cool. So what made you decide to come ride with us all summer in Saratoga this year?
Well, just the business, kind of bring me here. I have lots of good horses, very fortunate to ride them, and that's where they all are, pretty much here, based at Saratoga. Either they run here or they run out of town, but most of them are based here.
And Catch a Glimpse is one of your big horses actually running here this weekend in the Lake Placid.
Yes, she is. Yeah, she's running on Sunday.
Pretty exciting horse. I mean, she lost her first race on dirt, but she's undefeated on turf.
Yes, no, she is. She has a great demeanor, for winning races, and she shows all the time lots of hearts, and she's very hard to go by.
And she looks like the main speed on Sunday. You've rode Time in Motion, the horse who you just beat in the Belmont Oaks, looks like your main competition.
Yes, she is. It doesn't matter, where she is, really during the race. She always trying to find a way to win the race. So that's the good thing.
Had you had much experience riding in Saratoga? Did you ride here at all over the last couple of years?
No, not really. I rode only maybe 3 or 4 times. 2 times, last year amateur box in the 2 grade 1s.
Oh, you got disqualified. Tough start to your Saratoga career,
yeah,
right? Win a grade 1 and come down.
Johnny Velasquez is a good lawyer, so.
Right. Well, you're right. Now, actually, I wanted to ask you about Ima Chatterbox because you're her regular rider, but you also rode Cavorting when she won the Ogden Phipps, on the $1 Million Ogden Phipps. They're meeting next week in the Personal Ensign. Who are you riding?
I'm a Chatterbox.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? All right. What do you think? You think she's going to beat Cavorting?
I hope she can beat her. If I took her, I think she can.
Was it a situation of more of a commitment, or it's just one of those things?
Yes, I think there was just like more of a commitment. Larry's been pointing her, for that race, for a while, and Cavorting, I was surprised, she was end up in here, because she's been kind of like a one turn.
It's her first time 2 turns, actually.
That's her first time 2 turn, and I'm a Chatterbox is kind of experienced, going 2 turn, and she went great here last year. One win, she got DQ, and the other time she finished second in the Alabama. So.
Now, when I was talking to you at the beginning of the meet, you were saying how you like, you're talking about being in Saratoga, but you like to travel around. You've made at least 1 or 2 trips to Del Mar or been to Arlington Park as well during the meet?
Yes, I did. The last few trips in California was not very good because all the time I go there, I get suspended, so I'm going to try
to
avoid this.
You're like a traveling suspension. You got disqualified last year. You got suspended this year in Del Mar?
Yes, I am, but I want to win races, and sometimes you need to ride tight and do whatever I can to win the race.
What'd you do? I mean, come on. Just between us.
Just respect guys,
But more lawyers out in California, they saw their story better than you?
Oh, yeah.
Picking on you because probably they spoke better English than you? Your English is fine, by the way.
Probably so, yeah. It's probably right about that.
I'm going to have to go back and take a look at those situations. So, now you've established yourself in the Midwest in Kentucky, where you've had a lot of success, and you've been at fairgrounds in the winter. Have you given any thought to maybe joining us more full-time in New York and riding Belmont and Saratoga as well?
Well, it depends. Right now I also have a good business, in Kentucky. I'm a little more in demand than I am here, obviously, and I like to go at the fairgrounds, the winter time. It's always a great spot to pick up some very nice horses, and I've been super lucky. The past 2 years I've been there. I picked up the amateur box, 2 years ago, and this previous winter I picked up a very nice horse for Steve Asmussen, a gun runner. So
he's a pretty good horse, gun runner. Should we ask Steve about gun runner when he's up here?
Why not?
Travers for him? Why not like the wet track in the Haskell, right?
No, I didn't like that.
And though the Exaggerator, apparently, if he runs in the Travers, it rains every time he runs, right?
Yeah, I hope he's not going to go mean.
The early forecast is for nice weather for the Travers, so we're hoping that's the case, right? So we'll I think that might help beat Exaggerator in those races. So from here, will you go to Kentucky Downs and then Churchill for a couple of weeks and then go to Keeneland?
Yes, correct. I'm going to go to Kentucky Downs. Did pretty good there last year, and the money and the purse money are unbelievable. So. Plus, it's a fun. I think it's a fun track to ride. Not everyone liked it, but I always do good there and goes up and down, turn.
More European type feel, actually, right?
Yes, no, it is, but it's great, and when you have good horses, they make you look good as well. So.
Well, you had some big days there last year, as I recall. Sure.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I won 2 times 5 races, so worked out good.
So it's not bad. The only problem there seems to be they have storms and cancel sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But most of the time they put the races, to another day. So
what made you decide to leave Europe and come to the U.S. to ride?
I don't know. Just I was doing pretty good there. I just came here, during the off season over there, during the winter time. I came first to California and Santa Anita, working for Patrick Biancon, and from there I just click on and just liked it. Just the way people live here in America, and I just decided to stay here.
It was working out fairly well for you. You won 2 Breeders' Cup races last year. One of them was Mongolian Saturday. How was the scene in the Winner's Circle? You guys remember the scene in the Winner's Circle for Mongolian Saturday? It's pretty crazy, right?
No, it was, but it's a great story. It just shows, good horses, can do anything. Doesn't matter, who trained them. Really, those guys did a great job with them. And maybe if he was trained by another person or big trainer, maybe he would have never
fallen by the wayside a little bit.
Yes, exactly, because it's kind of like more a pet, for them than a racehorse. And the horse, maybe shows a lot of confidence, in that, and he knows he's the boss, in the barn, and likes it.
Is he coming back anytime soon? I know that he had an issue, right? He missed some races.
I don't know. He's been all over the world pretty much. The past few months, he's been to Hong Kong twice, Dubai, Alaska.
Now, do you have any 2-year-olds so far you've been riding that you're excited about?
I don't have many abroad. Affiliate broker made him, opening day here for Steve Asmussen, Bowie.
Yeah, fast horse.
Fast filly, yes. I don't know when she's going to run.
We can ask Steve.
You can ask him since he's here, exactly.
You don't want to ask him? Is it easier if I ask him?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll ask him about Bowie when he gets up here. Now I know you must be busily trying to get Julien Leparoux mounts because he's got those 2-year-olds for the Cassies, or are you sort of just hoping your friend Julien makes it back here for closing? We all hope Julien makes it back.
No, exactly. Down deep, I'm hoping, he makes it back. But if you don't, look like I should be next online, so... No, it's pretty exciting, but, I hope he can ride them back because even if I do ride them, it's probably a one-shot deal and I give it to him right away.
It would be nice to get Julien back. Florent, we appreciate you very much coming and joining us here on At the Post Live. wish you continued success here at Saratoga. And, you know, if you got nothing to do after Kentucky Downs, come back to Belmont and say hi.
Okay, wait. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Florent Giroux, thanks a lot. Give him a big hand. Stay with us as we come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by Capital OTB. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB.
Tune in to Saratoga Live each afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 2 or MSG+. Saratoga Live brings the best horse racing in the world directly to you each racing day. Our team of experts provide the best race analysis and insights and handicapping tips from the paddock to the finish line to help you win big. Don't have access to Fox Sports 2 or MSG+? Never miss a minute of Saratoga Live at NYRA.com and the NYRA HD app. For program listings and information, visit NYRA.com. Getting fired up for this weekend's action at Saratoga? Then go to Timeformus.com, the site for the modern horse player. Engineered to help you understand races faster, Timeform US offers past performances that are perfect for your iPad or computer, plus expert betting strategies from Mike Beer to help you win. Try the Timeform US Pace Projector to see who the early leaders will be. Use the Timeform US Speed Figures to help you quickly find the real contenders. And let the Timeform US Trainer Rating show you who performs best at the spa. Timeformus.com, it's the site for the modern horse player. Long before the first post, the men and women of the backstretch are hard at work getting horses ready for another day. The Belmont Child Care Association, a not-for-profit corporation, provides NYRA's backstretch families with access to affordable quality care and education for children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old. The program is open 365 days a year from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. and includes a special summer program in Saratoga. Visit us at www.belmontchildcare.org. The Saratoga Community Health Center, a service of Saratoga Hospital, is located in downtown Saratoga Springs. The health center provides quality, affordable health care to the people of our community, regardless of income. Whether it's primary care, dental care, or mental health services, we're meeting a critical need. The Saratoga Community Health Center welcomes your support. To find out more, visit SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. That's SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. Are you a fan of sports, fun, respect, and determination? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics New York. Special Olympics New York provides cost-free training and competition for nearly 68,000 athletes. Get involved today in one of our extreme fundraising events like the Run Dead 5K Zombie Run, now a color run, or the Lake George Polar Plunge to raise much-needed funds for our programs. Register today. For more information on how you can get involved, visit www.specialolympicsny.org or call 388-0790. We're off and racing at Capital OTB, and now's the time to open a Capital Bets account. There's even a new accounts match promotion to go along with it. With a Capital Bets account, take advantage of online handicapping contests, free past performances, access to live streaming, and outstanding cash rewards. Plus, convenient ways to wager. Check out all your promotional and racing needs during Saratoga online at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com. Also, don't forget to download our Capital OTB app. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB.
You're listening to At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
As we come back, let us remind you that At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga is coming to you live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga and is presented by NYRA Bets. Join NYRA Bets and earn up to 50,000 points and $100 cash bonus by using promo code SUNRISE. Sign up at NYRABets.com. NYRA Bets, racing's best play. As well as Timeform US, visit timeformus.com for summer discounts on unlimited PPs, as well as David Aragona's exclusive betting strategies for Saratoga weekend racing. I just want to let people know the first annual Taste of Travers celebration to benefit the Saratoga Senior Center be taking place on Friday, August 26th, the night before the Travers, 6 to 10. It's at the National Museum of Dance, which is out by SPAC. Presented by Prestwick Chase, it will be honoring a lot of guests from At the Post Live. Not Keen Ice. He wasn't here, but Donegal Racing's Jerry Crawford was here. Javier Castellano as well as Dale Romans. It's an open bar, gourmet food, live music, cigar tastings, valet parking, photo booth, and more. Purchase your tickets at www.SaratogaSeniorCenter.org. Okay, we got through all that stuff. I want to welcome my next guest, his first appearance at The Post Live, Steve Asmussen. Thanks so much for taking time out to join us.
Glad to be here.
It's been a busy day. You were flying. Where were you flying back from?
I went to Louisville. I have some horses stabled at Churchill. You get about halfway through Saratoga, you're looking for backups.
I'm sure it's not a halfway. Is all I would think. You got to get them immediately here. It's tough, right?
Definitely a strong meet. It's what makes it so special.
It's hard when every time you have a horse in a race, and even if you like them, you look at the entries and everybody's in there.
Yeah, you open the condition book, you love the spot, you see the overnight, and then by the time you get to the form, you're wondering why you entered in that spot.
Why you came in the first place.
Exactly.
It's funny. Saratoga is really the only place that we see you on a regular basis. How many years have you been coming here?
I think this is 13th or 14th summer. Continuously. We've had some great days, some great memories here. Just got to keep at it.
I think in my lifetime at Saratoga, I think in my lifetime at the racetrack, and we'll talk more about Rachel Alexander, but I don't think I've ever been at a racetrack for a more exciting, thrilling moment. And not just because the race was so thrilling, but just the whole day when she won the Woodward here was a magical day at the racetrack.
Yeah, magical, exactly. With her being put in the Hall of Fame this year, and so many memories of it, have got to relive it so many times. It's just, it's like a movie that you got to be a part of.
Yeah, I've watched that race more than any other race in history. Just the whole thing. It was this beautiful day. The end of the Saratoga meet, which is normally a very quiet Saturday, and the place was packed. It was incredible.
It really was. With Rachel Alexander taking over training from Hal Wiggins, she just had a tremendous fan base that came with her. We ran her in the Preakness 10 days after we got her, and it was you were worried about the preparation and everything being right going into the Preakness, and the thing that we weren't ready for was all of her fans. When we showed up there and you go to walk over, it's just something, having a great run with Curlin for 2 years previous to that, but nothing had a following like Rachel did.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like
right.
it. It was incredible. And it's funny because you were sort of unwittingly caught in the Zenyatta Rachel Alexander whirlwind, and you must have sort of spent a lot of time sidestepping that.
Well, I think that great horses like that, they are great because of what they do on the racetrack. A conversation of who's better without them getting to decide the results is no sense in it.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate because you think about great things, Firmed and Alley, but I think more recent, Sunday Silence and Easy Goer, because of the West Coast, East Coast, you can get a fight going, and I can be included in it in an instant, and you can do that with Rachel Alexander and Zenyatta. There's so much emotion, and it's really because of so much love, I think, for the horses.
Oh, very much so. As you mentioned, like with Rachel, and here at Saratoga, on her breeze days, there'd be more people lined up to watch her work than are at most of the racetracks during the races I'm at.
It was incredible. I mean, did you ever feel because it was such a remarkably an aggressive campaign. Did you ever feel like you sort of tried to hold Jess Jackson back from the decisions and the races she ran in?
She was good enough. I mean, if you're going to run anybody, you want to run her. Pick the fast one.
Well, I mean, I don't even remember Summer Bird finishing second to her, and then he came back and he won the Travers fairly easily. And Tim Ice, who trained him, saying to me, well, he's been great, but I couldn't come near beating her. And she was so much better than those horses.
It was her time. It really was. Her 3-year-old, 2009, her 3-year-old year was amazing. As we mentioned, we ran her in the Preakness 10 days after we got her from the 13 hole. First time anybody had won the Preakness from the 13. Let alone a filly, and then did with Jess and his plans as far as what to do. The one thing that I did, that me and Scott discussed and did ask for, was the Mother Goose, because that was the first time off of our preparation that she ran, and that was the only time that she got to run in her division. And to think of what she did to 2 fillies, it scratched down to only 3, but the other 2 fillies won grade 1s after that race, and they weren't even.
Well, one of them came back and won the test in her next start.
Exactly, and I think was beating 20-something Lynxspire in a gallop. And, for her to run faster than Lakeway and, just the horses that we grew up idolizing, it's just, and then with her crowning, being put in the Hall of Fame this week was just, like you said, it's just such great memories of an amazing, amazing racehorse.
Well, she didn't just get in the Hall of Fame, you got in the Hall of Fame, and deservedly so.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You've won over 7,000 races. It's an incredible number. Did you ever think about it, look back and think, how did I do it?
I'm more surprised by the ones that have lost. I mean, you walk over there planning on winning. I mean, it's what you're doing it for. I've been, just been given a golden opportunity. I've just been in a great spot. I'm very fortunate to grow up in a racing family that grew up around a bunch of racing enthusiasts, and that's what we're here to do.
And your father was a trainer years ago, and you in Texas?
My father was a jockey. My mom was a trainer. Okay. I mean, a racing family, and then one older brother, Cash, who was the leading rider in New York, I think 78, 79.
Against some pretty good riders back then.
Absolutely. He is truly a great rider. Obviously, little size runs in the family. He went to Europe to prolong his career and won the Golden Whip, I think, 6 times and stuff. Set records over there. So I just grew up in a great spot.
And you rode for 3 years.
Well, I held a license. So I had attempted to. Equibase will prove how I did at that, right? We need to get away with that. You can't tell a story if people can look it up and prove you're wrong.
Right. Especially at the racetrack.
Right.
Well, you can tell any story you want at the racetrack, and some people will believe it. Did you ride in New York at all?
Yeah, I did have a friend, my bug here in New York.
Funny. Now, when did you went to training pretty much right after that?
Well, I did go back, rode court horses, a higher scale of weights for a while. Ran a few horses. I took out a trainer's license in '86 in New Mexico. I was, freelance galloping for my parents and had a couple horses on the side. And a family friend convinced me to go to Birmingham Racecourse when it opened in 1987. He had grown up there, had a lot of family there, and sent me with some horses, and then and off we went.
And that's where you started at Birmingham.
Well, I did, like I said, I did. My first winter was at Riddose. I had one winner from 15 starts and $2,300 in earnings in 1986 as a trainer, and then in '87 I did better. But
probably figured right then you probably went to Triple Crown races.
A lot of fast food, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right, and then you go from Birmingham's a nice track. Actually, I actually went there once. It sort of didn't work out. I think they were racing dogs by the time I got there. It wasn't that many years later, right?
Well, Larry Colmus was the announcer there.
When you were there?
Yeah. Larry Colmus it was his first announcing job. And I guess it started both of us. We both ended up at Saratoga.
Right.
Later.
You've come full circle. Right.
Yep.
Larry's calling Triple Crown races, and you're winning them. So you go from there and talk about Curlin. I mean, not to jump too far forward, but you got Curlin after his first start, right?
Yes, after his first race at Gulfstream, and was Scott Blasey, who assistant and confidant, longtime friend. His sister-in-law is Helen Pitts.
Who trained him?
We had a 3-year-old running in the Swale Stakes, I believe it was, that day on the undercard for the Gulfstream Park Handicap, and shipped into her barn. And so it just by chance was there. Saw him when he walked over, saw him when he come back. I don't know what the margin of victory was, but it was past the middle of the racetrack in extremely fast time, and it was like no other.
I mean, he ran the Kentucky Derby in his 4th career start and won the Preakness in his 5th career start.
Correct. Against very fast horses. It was, the times of, I think his Preakness equals the fastest Preakness ever, and he was the strongest horse I've ever been around, mentally and physically, and I don't think they will ever be another.
He was astounding because he competed in all 3 Triple Crown races and, took a very tough beat to the filly in the Belmont Stakes.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not, he finished 3rd in the Derby, but it was his 4th career start. If he had a little more time, who knows?
Well, drawn 2 in the Derby, just shuffled out the back. Street Sense, Calvin gave him just the dream trip, and he ran a great race, a hard spun 2nd that year. A horse that went on to win the King's Bishop up here. You're just a very good crop of 3-year-olds. Obviously, I think that he, with time and throughout the year, he proved that he was the best one of them. And I think that, his Preakness win was great. But you can even watch the replay. He still didn't have it all figured out by then. And then the horse that he was by the end of the year was just amazing.
Well, he came and beat Lawyer Ron in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, whose win in the Whitney was one of the most impressive Whitney scores I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, just
crazy horses,
crazy trainers and everything. I just didn't think that nobody wanted to run with him twice. Even if you couldn't beat, to run Curlin in the Jockey Club Gold Cup was to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. You know, I had been around Lawyer Ron when he was a 3-year-old when Holtis had him at Hot Springs, and he was a wet, somewhat nervous horse. You know, he'd be excitable and stuff. And I just thought, you know, we saw when everything goes his way here in the Whitney and stuff, he's just, I think he ran 123 Beyer or something crazy.
Incredible race.
When everything goes something crazy. But Curlin needed to see him. He needed to know how good he was going to have to be for the Classic. Going into that time of year when we left Saratoga, he was the horse to beat for the year. And with the Classic being our plans, I wanted to give him a chance to see what he had to get up to, because I've never had a horse that responded from what he needed to do better than Curlin did.
I mean, it was remarkable. He went flat out and just caught Lawyer Ron in the Jock Cup.
And I think he did him in, because, you know,
that was it.
When we went to Monmouth, Lawyer Ron wasn't the horse to beat anymore. And,
no, you were.
And there was, you know, why would, you know, all the handicappers, you know, before the Jockey Club Gold Cup, thought it was the worst spot in the world. But, you know,
I didn't like him.
The prize was the Classic, and they don't want to run against him twice.
Well, he destroyed the field in the Classic, and that must have been a pretty exciting moment for you.
It was great. One of the, you know, good memories and stuff like that, and I, you know, got to relive them a lot with the family this week. I remember after the interviews, it was dark by the time we were walking out of the paddock where they had the interviews set up, and you're walking through the tunnel and you can see the mutual payoffs with his number on front and stuff. And, you know, talking to my dad, we were walking back to the bar on a rainy day and stuff. I said, that felt so good I can barely feel the chip on my shoulder.
Why not? You can't do it. You got to have a chip on your shoulder in this game, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you end up going over to Dubai with him, and he prepped over in Dubai. I mean, he was the first horse. I feel like people are doing it now, and you're like the first person that sort of did that.
Well, I think that to win the Dubai World Cup, he just felt like he was the best horse in the world right then, but wanted to be greedy. I didn't want it to be his only race that year. And I think that we wanted to have a lot of horse afterwards, and thought that the best way to do it was to go over there, be acclimated, run his race. And then I think that running horses previously in Dubai, getting over there running and then immediately leaving, I think just the whole trip more than the race has them knocked out. So he was completely settled in himself and dominated, and came back in his next race in the Clark at Stephen Foster at Churchill was typical Curlin.
Right, just annihilated them. And then you came to Belmont. And so Jess Jackson was talking at that point about going to the Arc. Are you looking forward to that trip to Paris when he was talking about it?
Absolutely. I was all in with Curlin. I mean, if you have Farlap, don't talk about what he could have done after it was over. I mean, do it. I mean, if you do. I honestly, you know, his 4-year-old year was possibly, you know, the Dubai World Cup, the Arc, the Classic, and the Melbourne Cup.
If he had, I mean, obviously he didn't, but he didn't run badly in his turf race. I mean, the horses that beat him are pretty good horses. It was the horse that won the Breeders' Cup turf. Yeah, right. I mean, they were good horses.
Breeders' Cup turf winners were first and third, and he was second. He ran solid, but he wasn't himself. He wasn't Curlin. He ran well, but not Curlin.
And so you ended up coming back, and was his next race the Woodward here?
Yes.
And he did the usual.
Right, and with an extremely difficult trip. You know, I mean, they ran him out in the middle of the racetrack in the first turn, and how they finished, you know, is typical of the horses that run with him. And then his Jockey Club Gold Cup, you know, the $10 million horse, over $10 million, right? Yeah. Absolutely. And and then the disappointing Breeders' Cup Classic on synthetic. You know? But I think with Curlin and how strong he was, I think that a synthetic racetrack, you know, having him run on that was kind of like telling Michelangelo what colors to use. You know, he was already in charge by then.
He actually didn't run that badly. I mean, he finished fourth. Did he finish fourth?
He was fourth, but like I said, it was just
just not the right surface.
Right, it wasn't.
So you found a good person in Jess Jackson because you both like to take chances and have fun. Because you think about Rachel and Curlin, you guys were game for anything.
Well, I think that that's what we're in the sport for, is the competition of it. And I just absolutely love horse racing for that.
Right, the opportunity. And you've had more opportunities this year with Creator winning the Belmont. That must have been pretty fun.
It was a very special day. The way that it worked out, we felt very confident going into the Kentucky Derby with him, with how sharp he had gotten with his style, and I felt that his chances were eliminated in there. But afterwards you take your lumps. You just take it, go back to the barn, be quiet, and hail the victor. Nobody likes reading about what should have happened. You like what did happen. And then it was very gratifying, very rewarding for him to show who he was on a stage like the Belmont when given an opportunity. I do think that, race set up well. Irad gave him a dream trip, made the most of it, and he won by an inch. But he is the Belmont Stakes winner.
Right. You never have to apologize for getting a little lucky at the racetrack because we get unlucky so many times. And, a lot of things obviously happened in that race. And Governor Malibu pulls out on the turn. Maybe you don't get that same position. But you know what? There's a lot of the ifs in racing. At the end of the day, somebody wins.
Well, absolutely. That's how you get to bet on them again next time.
Right. Well, obviously, the Jim Day didn't work out. But, the Travers is going to be a very different story. And it feels like there'll at least be an honest pace in that race.
Well, speaking with Elliott and stuff, thought that the horse, from all of his racing in the spring to getting to that point, and then with the disappointing run in the Derby, we put quite a bit of pressure on him for the Belmont. Very much felt that a little bit of a mental and physical break was in store for him. He went back to the farm. He did really well with the downtime. He relaxed, put on a little weight, came up here. But with that, with knowing he had a little break, prepared him for the Jim Dandy, with the miles in him and stuff, but probably lacked the sharpness that was required for him to give a peak race. But then I don't think that the race unfolded for anybody as expected, circumstances being what they may. But as you can tell with our training, we've picked it up with him considerably. And, the Travers is a great opportunity for a 3-year-old that will stay the mile and a quarter, and that's what Creator is.
And at this point, a win in the Travers thrusts him right in the forefront for the 3-year-old division. I mean, it's wide open at this point. Exaggerator probably has the lead, but there's big races left.
Very much so. I think that we need to run well in the Travers. He needs to be all in.
What about Gunrunner?
Gunrunner's a very fast horse that hopes Exaggerator's mud stays away.
It is amazing, isn't it? It's like Temperance Hill. Remember Temperance Hill? It always rained for his big races?
Yeah, the one who won the Delta Jackpot, it was sloppy also.
Right, it's incredible.
Santa Anita, he can get it to rain in Southern California. Right. Wow.
Incredible. It really is incredible. I think it's Sal that gets to rain, but that's just what I think. But Gunrunner's, he's run really well. His race at Churchill Downs before the Haskell was a terrific effort.
Every one of his races are extremely good except for the 2 slop races. And I think that both of the times, the Kentucky Jockey Club last fall, as well as the Haskell, they don't seem faster than him. He moves with them. It's when he comes off the bridle. I'm driving back from Monmouth, just because, it would a great opportunity and for it to be spoiled in such a way. You just would like a better reason than it for just to be sloppy. He's a very athletic horse. I'm surprised he doesn't handle it. But he does run with his head very low. And you're just not going to change how one runs. And maybe that's just the difference why he doesn't handle it when he comes off the bridle.
Do you think it just sort of affects the dirt, the slop?
As you spoke with Florent earlier and stuff, he's gives tremendous feedback from how horses feel from the morning and the afternoon. And he said, and I thought the one telling thing that he said was in the Risen Stars first race of the year at Fairgrounds, as well as in the Kentucky Derby, when he was tired, he was still up underneath me, But in the Haskell, he said, the 3/8, when the run-in started, I started riding him. He said he wasn't underneath him. So you got some confidence that it is purely footing. I did work Gunrunner and Creator with each other this Monday because going into the Travers, you don't want to be kidding yourself about how good one. You weren't. And I thought that the work was solid, 5/8 a minute and 3/5, but they were out beautifully. I caught them out 7/8 and 1, 26 and 1, which is a great move over the Saratoga main track.
So 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds are hope, right?
Absolutely.
And how are your 2-year-olds?
Very good.
Hopeful?
Very hopeful. Much stronger in the filly division right now than we are with the Colts, but I think it's just a maturity thing as well as a speed thing.
Well, the one in the Adirondack names, her debut was terrific at Churchill Downs.
Ever so clever. She is very nice Medagliador filly. Won from the 1 hole going 3/4 at Churchill. Kind of missed the break.
Got steadied afterwards.
Got steady. It wasn't a strong field. I mean, it wasn't in the paddock or, it wasn't a group that you were worried about. in that regard. I do think that Philly has a huge future, and I definitely think it's going to be going 2 turns. Obviously, I like our chances tomorrow with her in the Adirondack, but as good as she is now, she'll be much better a year from now, 6 months from now.
Yeah, I hope so for you. And I like her. I love the way she ran. I agree. She didn't obviously beat that good horses, but to be slow and stopped and be inside, and she was so professional, I thought, for a first-time starter.
And she is. She's got a lot of class about her. She'll handle however it comes. But I do think that route races are in her future.
Well, we wish you the best success with her and with everything, Stephen. And thanks so much for joining us here on At the Post Live.
Thank you.
Steve Asmussen. Thanks, man. All the best. Thanks. We're going to take a break. I got to read some stuff. Stay with us as we come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by the Saratoga Hospital Foundation. Together, we support community health.
Tune in to Saratoga Live each afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 2 or MSG+. Saratoga Live brings the best horse racing in the world directly to you each racing day. Our team of experts provide the best race analysis and insights and handicapping tips from the paddock to the finish line to help you win big. Don't have access to Fox Sports 2 or MSG+? Never miss a minute of Saratoga Live at NYRA.com and the NYRA HD app. For program listings and information, visit NYRA.com. The Saratoga Community Health Center, a service of Saratoga Hospital, is located in downtown Saratoga Springs. The health center provides quality, affordable health care to the people of our community, regardless of income. Whether it's primary care, dental care, or mental health services, we're meeting a critical need. The Saratoga Community Health Center welcomes your support. To find out more, visit SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. That's SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. Long before the first post, the men and women of the backstretch are hard at work getting horses ready for another day. The Belmont Child Care Association, a not-for-profit corporation, provides NYRA's backstretch families with access to affordable quality care and education for children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old. The program is open 365 days a year from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. and includes a special summer program in Saratoga. Visit us at www.belmontchildcare.org. Are you a fan of sports, fun, respect, and determination? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics New York. Special Olympics New York provides cost-free training and competition for nearly 68,000 athletes. Get involved today in one of our extreme fundraising events like the Run Dead 5K Zombie Run, now a color run, or the Lake George Polar Plunge to raise much-needed funds for our programs. Register today. For more information on how you can get involved, visit www.specialolympicsny.org or call 388-0790. We're off and racing at Capital OTB, and now's the time to open a Capital Bets account. There's even a new accounts match promotion to go along with it. With a Capital Bets account, take advantage of online handicapping contests, free past performances, access to live streaming, and outstanding cash rewards. Plus, convenient ways to wager. Check out all your promotional and racing needs during Saratoga online at capitalotb.com or capitalotbbet.com. Also, don't forget to download our Capital OTB app. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. Getting fired up for this weekend's action at Saratoga? Then go to timeformus.com, the site for the modern horse player. Engineered to help you understand races faster, Timeform US offers past performances that are perfect for your iPad or computer, plus expert betting strategies from Mike Beer to help you win. Try the Timeform US pace projector to see who the early leaders will be. Use the Timeform US speed figures to help you quickly find the real contenders. And let the Timeform US trainer rating show you who performs best at the spa. TimeformUS.com, it's the site for the modern horse player.
This is At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
As we come back, let us remind you that At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga is coming to you live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga and is presented by NYRA Bets and partners the Belmont Child Care Association. Save the date, August 24th, the Cirque du BCCA dinner and auction honoring NYRA Board Chairman Mike Del Giudice at the Hall of Springs. And Special Olympics New York. Be a fan. Visit www.specialolympicsnewyork.org for more information. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around. We're on with my third guest. Before we start, I just want to remind people next week's Travers show. I haven't lined everybody up. Ramon Dominguez, who was supposed to be here tonight, unfortunately couldn't make it, but he will be here next Thursday night if I have to drag him down here. No, Ramon will be here next Thursday. Jimmy Patsos, the Siena basketball coach that I'm sure those people who have been around have heard in the last couple of years. Jimmy will be joining us as well, but we're lining people up, so it'll be a fun night. If Jimmy Patsos is in the room, you know it's going to be a fun night. If Jimmy Riccio's in the room, it's going to be a fun night. My next guest, Jimmy Riccio, if you're familiar with New York racing, you're familiar with a man who has been winning races as an owner here for 34 years, 33 years. Is that true?
I guess I started when I was 3.
Oh, you're acting 3. You 33, 83, is that right? You first became an owner
82.
in 82?
Yeah.
Tell us the story of buying your first horse, or not.
Well, not my first horse that I bought. My first claim. I had just bought a house. I was married. I had my son Jimmy, who's now a jocks agent for Jose Ortiz. I'll give the plug for him there because I know if not, he'll kill me.
He's tied now.
Yeah, he's tied. And both Irad and Jose are great. But anyway, so I buy a little house and the interest rates go down, and I go to my friend at the bank, and Bayonne's a small town. I say, you got to renegotiate and give me the good rate. He goes, you're gonna have to pay the points. I go, I can't pay the points. Can't do it. I could get the money personally, which I do, and a couple of months later, an equity line of credit comes out, so I, apply. I get the loan, and I got a $50,000 loan. I take 35 over to Belmont and claim one. My wife wanted to kill me, but the horse won. Actually ran it back in 2 or 3 days and ran second. So I said, look at this, we're making money already. She was like, not really as into it as I was, and ran the horse back and got lucky and made some money, and then just got on a roll with Pete Ferriola. He was unbelievable.
Pete was your first trainer?
Yeah, I would say so. I had Louis Barrera for one horse, but it was a partnership deal. Me and 3 other guys in Bayonne, we each had a leg, and then we moved on, and I started claiming, and Pete really got hot, and I got hot, and I was like, I didn't get right into it. I used to play fantasy horse owner, and I was like, I'm pretty good at this stuff, you know what I mean? I'm like, now, you got to be lucky. I was very lucky.
So, were you a horse player, and that's what sort of led you to buying horses?
My brother took me to the track probably when I was 12, and I went to Belmont, and I was like, yeah, let's forget about school. How do I like it? I liked it closed, you know what I mean? I had the racing form. I used to take a bus and a train and go to Aqueduct, have like $30 in my pocket, play hooky, bet some horses, and have a lot of fun, and,
So you get involved. How'd you meet Pete Ferriola?
My brother had a horse called Fingers in the Till, and he needed a trainer. So I went over and talked to him, and his dad worked in the shop right in Bayonne, so it was a small town. He knew me. Yeah, take the horse. And then I started claiming with him.
And so you guys had he was the leading trainer, one of the leading trainers in New York for a lot of years, right?
Yeah.
And you were the most successful owner I feel like he had. I saw your name right away, and you guys won a lot of races together.
Yeah, I was like, really, I was like, the guardian angel was on my shoulder, and I was like, I could do no wrong. It was like bang, 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 good claim, good claim, good claim. Then don't get me wrong. You suffer a lot of pain in this game, too. It's not easy claiming. But no, Pete was unbelievable. He was the first guy that ever, I think, was using turn downs. And
they were kind of shoes for horses.
You turn them down behind, and the horses, whatever. I didn't care. I was a handicapper. I just looked at the form back at that time, and then later on went to Ragusan sheets. But we just started claiming horses, and Pete was moving everything up. They used to call him Juice, but he was a good horseman.
He won a lot of races. Who were some of the best early claims that you made?
Majestic Empire, Fugi. We Stark, I won a couple of stakes with, or won one stake with. Argyle Lake, and a lot of just hard-knocking claimers.
Now, did you have partners on a lot of these, or did you pretty much do on your own?
No, it was just mainly me, and then I made friends with Vincent Scuderi, and we would go partners, but not just because, we both like the same kind of horses, and, we take them and just go that way.
And you're one of you and Vince Scuderi, Michael Dubb's been around for a long time. There aren't that many claiming owners that have lasted as long as you have in the game, at least in New York.
Yeah, I went to Monmouth for a while, too, but I would say, yeah, I've been pretty lucky, and it's been a lot of fun. It's crazy. I'm kind of winding down now because of my son. Not because of him, but I could root for Jose. I don't need to own horses anymore,
You don't need. So you're taking a break, or you're really? You're claiming you're not going to be an owner anymore. But I don't believe it.
There could be one in tomorrow. You'll be saying, and I'll claim it. You know what I mean? So we never know. But right now, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to do a little fishing down in Key West, that kind of stuff.
I don't buy this. And
drinking too. Don't get me wrong. Everybody that's involved in racing got to be a tick off to me a little bit. So I'll probably be back, but not like I used to be. I think just more for fun.
Jimmy owned one of a very popular horse that ran in Saratoga not that long ago, and we're going to actually have to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Willie Beeman, and I imagine a lot of people remember Willie Beeman winning here a few years ago. So we're going to stay with us. We come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by Naira Bets. Join Naira Bets and earn up to 50,000 points and $100 cash bonus by using promo code Sunrise. Sign up at NairaBets.com. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Tune in to Saratoga Live each afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 2 or MSG+. Saratoga Live brings the best horse racing in the world directly to you each racing day. Our team of experts provide the best race analysis and insights and handicapping tips from the paddock to the finish line to help you win big. Don't have access to Fox Sports 2 or MSG+? Never miss a minute of Saratoga Live at Naira.com and the Naira HD app. For program listings and information, visit Naira.com. Since 2009, the Brave Will Foundation has been a driving force in the commitment to pediatric palliative care efforts in the greater capital region of New York. Help us support children facing challenging, life-threatening illnesses by celebrating willpower every day. The Saratoga Community Health Center, a service of Saratoga Hospital, is located in downtown Saratoga Springs. The health center provides quality, affordable health care to the people of our community, regardless of income. Whether it's primary care, dental care, or mental health services, we're meeting a critical need. The Saratoga Community Health Center welcomes your support. To find out more, visit SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. That's SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. We're off and racing at Capital OTB, and now's the time to open a Capital Bets account. There's even a new accounts match promotion to go along with it. With a Capital Bets account, take advantage of online handicapping contests, free past performances, access to live streaming, and outstanding cash rewards. Plus, convenient ways to wager. Check out all your promotional and racing needs during Saratoga online at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com. Also, don't forget to download our Capital OTB app. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. Getting fired up for this weekend's action at Saratoga? Then go to Timeformus.com, the site for the modern horse player. Engineered to help you understand races faster, Timeform US offers past performances that are perfect for your iPad or computer, plus expert betting strategies from Mike Beer to help you win. Try the Timeform US Pace Projector to see who the early leaders will be. Use the Timeform US Speed Figures to help you quickly find the real contenders. And let the Timeform US Trainer Rating show you who performs best at the spa. TimeformUS.com. It's the site for the modern horse player.
This is At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
As we come back, let us remind you that At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga is coming to you live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga and is presented by Naira Bets and Partners. Capital OTB. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. And Timeform US. Visit TimeformUS.com for summer discounts on unlimited PPs and David Aragona's exclusive betting strategies for Saratoga weekend racing. We come back with owner Jimmy Riccio. We appreciate him coming down. We want to thank, of course, all of you for coming and joining us, Steve Asmussen as well as Florent Giroux. When we left, I brought up one of your most notable recent horses. You owned Willie Beeman, who in the space of 3 days won the Albany handicap for the New York Breds, and then he came back and won the Grade 1 King's Bishop.
Yes, he did. That was unbelievable. Rick Dutrow was training him, and he wanted to run him back into Travers, and I just kind of thought the 1.25 miles was a little too much. Looked at the 7/8 race, and Rick was always good wheeling him right back, and bang, there you go. Like, you talk about fun. That's why everybody in the room, partner up. Get a horse. Get in the game. You know what I mean? There's nothing like it. Yeah, exactly. Get some horses. Have some fun.
Winning a Grade 1 on Travers Day must be, that's got to be one of the pinnacles of your career as an owner.
Yeah, I probably wanted to go out and drink for 3 days, but, I just can't handle it, But it was unbelievable. I was like, my 60 seconds of fame, and now I'm getting another couple of minutes here, and then I'm going to
say nothing. This is adding on to that. You've really hit bottom.
Yeah, well,
you better start claiming some more horses.
I have one horse in Finger Lakes. I got one on a farm and 2 babies with Steal Your Face stables. That's it.
So, I mean, as far as being how is it that the game has changed from, you think of how it has evolved in the game, but it's changed dramatically now, but you had to change along with the game over the last 30 plus years. I mean, it's changed, I'm sure, during different times during your ownership career.
I really think that it's changed more recently. You know, when the Ragusan sheets came out, there weren't a lot of people using them. Actually, it was, people were making fun of me when they saw me walking around Aqueduct with the headphones on, listening to the seminars about the sheets and how to read them. But to me, they really worked, and now everybody's on them. So everybody's on the same horses. You know, you have to look for another angle.
And what is the angle? Are there any angles
Fishing.
left? Fishing. You're not going fishing.
No,
you're not leaving the racetrack.
No, I'm probably going to just look at a town because there's too many people that my son rides for and Jose ride for, and it's not right for me to claim their horses and then make them look silly. You know what I mean?
Don't want to hurt that business.
No,
it's going so well for him.
Oh, he's doing great. Now, maybe buy a couple of horses at a sale or something like that. But just it's different now.
Finding a horse in the past that you claimed, that you saw, I mean, Willie Beamham you claimed for $25,000 and ultimately winning a stake, that has to be very satisfying beyond, obviously, just the win itself.
Yeah, absolutely, especially like I said before, when I like school closed. You know, it's your right. Like, you know, I was right somewhere. I could figure something out. It's a lot of fun. There's a thrill that you get. I won a race on Monday, a 12.5 claim where I plunged from 25, then ran in the starter allowance and then went to 12.5. Yeah, I was like, okay, if I don't win that race, they should just roll me up and throw me out.
I bet her the time before when she finished fifth. Idiot that I am.
Sometimes we're all idiots, you know?
Right. If we weren't idiots, we would never have a chance to feel smart.
Exactly. But I don't know I'm a little off topic here.
That doesn't really matter. We don't have any topics around here. How about horse playing? Are you still a horse player?
I play casually. I play, 20s and 40s, and when I really like something, I'll bet a couple of $100 on it. But you can't beat them. You got to have fun. I'm not a good gambler. I would buy horses. To me, I had an eye to buy a horse. I didn't know which day they were going to win, but I liked them. It was like the stock market to me. I took a horse for 25, and if I was no good, I'd drop down.
So getting in and out, knowing when to get out was
when you like them, you try to keep them and you protect them, and when you don't, you plunge.
And what's the most, during your career as an owner, what's the highest number of horses you owned at one time, including even partnerships with Steal Your Face?
When I was with Steal Your Face, I didn't have any personally most of that time, but probably 20, 25 with Ferriola.
It's a lot of horses.
There's a lot of horses, there was a bill to make, and, you got to win. It's like, that bill comes and it's up $10,000. You got to put them where they belong. So, that's half the game. You can't buy a horse and, you buy it for 25 and now all of a sudden he's worth 40 because you own him. You have to be a realist and say, run them where they belong,
I think that's obviously one of the keys to success is being able to run your horses where they belong. But when did you first come to Saratoga? Did you come as a horse player or as a horse owner?
As a horse owner.
And when did you first win a race here? Right away?
I tell you the truth, I don't really know because, you get like so many years went by and I'm not one for dates and stuff like that. But it's just, you go day to day. Somebody used to ask, who's your favorite horse? I would say whoever won last.
It's very sentimental.
Yeah, exactly. It's a business. Like, I didn't belong in the business the way for playing with other men and women that have huge businesses and stuff like that. I have a school bus company in Jersey City, and it paid the bills, but I didn't really belong in the sport of kings. You know, now that's changed a lot with partnerships and things, you know, of such, but I never really looked at it like that. I just went day by day, have fun.
And you never brought horses to sales at all, really?
No, one or two, I stunk at that.
Well, it's not exactly a value play.
No, not at all.
It's more of an ego play than a value play.
Yeah. So, bought a couple of, 40s and 50s down at Timonium.
So what do you see? You see yourself going down to the Mid-Atlantic and claiming some horse again? Because you're not leaving, right?
Probably not.
Because I'm nice to you, and you don't want to leave, right? What am I going to do?
Andy has said so many nice things about me, and, exactly. Thinking back, I probably can't quit.
Well, it's remarkable to me that somebody like you has been able to be successful as a claiming owner as long as you have, because the game has changed so much over the period of time, and you can't be successful by not changing along with it and moving forward, or always being a step ahead.
Well, but there's no hop like the drop. So when you have a horse and you drop, you're going to win. Sometimes. Well, right. And it's okay, but that's when you're going to win. So you drop, and you can't be afraid. You got to get the elevator, and it's got to go to the bottom floor. When it got to go, it's got to go. They have to earn.
Jimmy, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you having me. Jimmy Riccio. Stay with us. We come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by the Brave Will Foundation, giving families hope.
Tune in to Saratoga Live each afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 2 or MSG+. Saratoga Live brings the best horse racing in the world directly to you each racing day. Our team of experts provide the best race analysis and insights and handicapping tips from the paddock to the finish line to help you win big. Don't have access to Fox Sports 2 or MSG+? Never miss a minute of Saratoga Live at NYRA.com and the NYRA HD app. For program listings and information, visit NYRA.com. The Saratoga Community Health Center, a service of Saratoga Hospital, is located in downtown Saratoga Springs. The health center provides quality, affordable health care to the people of our community, regardless of income. Whether it's primary care, dental care, or mental health services, we're meeting a critical need. The Saratoga Community Health Center welcomes your support. To find out more, visit SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. That's SaratogaCommunityHealthCenter.org. We're off and racing at Capital OTB, and now's the time to open a Capital Bets account. There's even a new accounts match promotion to go along with it. With a Capital Bets account, take advantage of online handicapping contests, free past performances, access to live streaming, and outstanding cash rewards. Plus, convenient ways to wager. Check out all your promotional and racing needs during Saratoga online at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com. Also, don't forget to download our Capital OTB app. Watch, wager, and win with Capital OTB. Long before the first post, the men and women of the backstretch are hard at work getting the horses ready for another day. The Belmont Child Care Association, a not-for-profit corporation, provides NYRA's backstretch families with access to affordable quality care and education for children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old. The program is open 365 days a year from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. and includes a special summer program in Saratoga. Visit us at www.belmontchildcare.org. Are you a fan of sports, fun, respect, and determination? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics New York. Special Olympics New York provides cost-free training and competition for nearly 68,000 athletes. Get involved today in one of our extreme fundraising events like the Run Dead 5K Zombie Run, now a color run, or the Lake George Polar Plunge to raise much-needed funds for our programs. Register today. For more information on how you can get involved, visit www.specialolympicsny.org or call 388-0790. Getting fired up for this weekend's action at Saratoga? Then go to timeformus.com, the site for the modern horse player. Engineered to help you understand races faster, Timeform US offers past performances that are perfect for your iPad or computer, plus expert betting strategies from Mike Beer to help you win. Try the Timeform US pace projector to see who the early leaders will be. Use the Timeform US speed figures to help you quickly find the real contenders. And let the Timeform US trainer rating show you who performs best at the spa. TimeformUS.com, it's the site for the modern horse player.
You're listening to At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
We are back with At the Post Live, brought to you by NYRA Bets. Join NYRA Bets and earn up to 50,000 points and $100 cash bonus by using promo code SUNRISE. Sign up at NYRABets.com. NYRA Bets, racing's best play. Got a couple of NYRA Bets hats up here for whoever attacks me for those hats. Before we leave, I want to thank everybody for coming down and joining us at the Post Live. I want to thank, of course, once again, Florent Giroux, Steve Asmussen, and Jimmy Riccio for joining us on the show next week. I can tell you Ramon Dominguez will be here, along with Jimmy Patsos, the Siena basketball coach. If you're not familiar with Jimmy, you have to listen or come down because you don't want to miss him. He's about as entertaining as it gets. Anyway, big weekend coming up. The Alabama's coming up. We're out of time. I will be picking against Songbird. Everybody have a great week.
You've been listening to At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga. Presented by Naira Bats, live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga. Tonight's show was brought to you in part by Timeform US and Capital OTB. Join us next week for another hour of insider discussion about the Saratoga racing scene with Andy and his special guests. Remember to follow us on Twitter at the Post Live. This has been a production of Camden Sports.